Hi, my name is Rebecca, and in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to stop using lazy English and start using energetic English. How do you do this? Very easy. For the next few minutes, I'd like you to participate in a little experiment with me. I'd like you to pretend that you are a professor and join me in checking these sentences on the board. So 6 students wrote these sentences in an English exam. And what I'd like you to do is to help me to decide which 2 students should get the highest marks. Let's start looking at the sentences. Number 1 wrote, "It was a good lecture." 2, "It was an interesting lecture." 3, "It was an informative lecture." Out of these 3 students, which student do you think should get the highest marks? Think about it. Well, according to me, it would be the 3rd student. Let's look at another set of sentences. Number 4 wrote, "I had a bad week." Student number 5 wrote, "I had a tiring week." And student number 6 wrote, "I had an exhausting week." Again, put on your professor's cap and tell me which student do you think should get the best marks? Which one? Well, according to me, it would be student number 6. Now, why did we, I think you probably chose the same ones as me, why did we choose student number 3 and student number 6? Why did we choose these responses? And why didn't we choose 1 and 4? Because 1 and 4 use the words good and bad. And what I'd like you to learn in this lesson is to use any words when you're speaking or writing other than good or bad. Why? Because good and bad are overly used. They're rather boring words and they're not very descriptive words. They don't tell us anything specific. They're very vague. They're very general. What I'd like you to do instead is to do what these other students went on to do, which is to be more detailed, more specific, more descriptive, more energetic, more dynamic in your speaking and in your writing. This one change will make a tremendous difference in the way that you speak and definitely in the way that you write. This is a really important lesson if you're planning to appear for the TOEFL or the IELTS or the TOEIC exam or any English proficiency exam, or even if you're just in school and you're submitting assignments and essays. This one technique of getting rid of the words good and bad and replacing them with more interesting words is going to give you a much higher score. Next, I'll show you exactly how you can do this. So now I'll show you how to avoid using the lazy words good, nice, or bad and start using more powerful words instead. All right? You're going to go from the basic to the intermediate to the advanced level word, or you could say the more vague word, general word, to a clear word, to a more specific word, okay? That's what you want to keep in mind when you're coming up with your words. I've just given you some examples, but you can certainly come up with lots of other examples. Let's look at some of these. A good meal, a tasty meal, a delicious meal. We had a nice evening. Okay. We had a fun evening. We had an enjoyable evening. It was a really good meeting. It was a useful meeting. It was a productive meeting. You see how I'm adding so much more information with the more powerful vocabulary, right? More detailed vocabulary. We had a nice holiday. Well, what is nice? Nice is a very general word. If you want to stay general, you can still use a better word. So here I've given you an example. We had a pleasant holiday. We had a relaxing holiday. Okay? So, we had a pleasant holiday or we had a delightful holiday. That's if you want to stay more general. If by nice holiday you meant that it was really a quiet holiday, then say quiet. A better word than quiet is we had a relaxing holiday. Okay? So you see how you're being more specific. Because when I say I had a nice holiday, it doesn't tell you very much. It just gives you a very general impression. Let's continue with using the word bad. Also another very overused word. It was a really bad journey. It was a difficult journey. It was a problematic journey. Problematic means there were many problems that you had or that you encountered on the way during your journey. It was such a bad experience. It was such a scary experience. It was a traumatic experience, from the word trauma. Okay? Now, obviously, the intensity can also change. So it depends what you want to say, but sometimes it's more interesting when you change the intensity as well. I had such a bad day. I had a really hard day. I had an extremely stressful day. Okay? You can see I'm changing many words there. That's a bad song. That's a sad song. That's a depressing song. Okay? Now here, I changed. Of course, bad and sad don't mean the same thing, but I gave it a particular meaning. All right? So in this case, it was bad for me because it was sad. Or even better, it was depressing. All right? It could be a bad song for many other reasons. And the weather, this country has such bad weather sometimes. Such cold weather, such freezing weather, or Arctic weather. All right? So this is an example of what you can do to stop using lazy English and start using more energetic English. This is a wonderful game. You can play it by yourself when you're on the bus or while you're walking down the street or in the subway. Look at people around you. Look at places around you. Try to think of words to describe them. Start with positive things. She looks good. She looks pretty. She looks beautiful. Okay? Things like that, or about a place. Try to avoid good, nice, bad. Even interesting is overly used. So try to find better and better words. After a little while, it will become second nature. It will become second nature means it will come to you more automatically to use a more interesting word, a more dynamic word, and a more energetic word than simply saying good or bad. I've also done something for you. I've written a resource on our website, engVid.com, where I've written a list of words that you could use instead of saying good or bad to describe a variety of different things. You could also go to our website, www.engvid.com, to do a quiz on this subject. So thanks very much for watching. Good luck with your English.